Every time I grab my old Xbox 360 and load it up to play Oblivion, this intro will always give me goosebumps, and it has since the first time I played it. This game is almost as old as I am, and it's still my first time playing an Elder Scrolls game. I remember vividly on the Christmas of 2013, I got an Xbox 360. Actually, the one I still currently have. And the first game I got in it that wasn't Minecraft was Oblivion. I still remember the night vividly after I bought the game, and I still get the same nostalgic feeling every time I listen to that scene. As the game begins, you're in a dank cellar with a dark elf that decides to berate you based on what race you chose.
You're a brat.
Obviously,
The masters
a
of
necessary
magic,
part of the game.
right? You're nothing but a stuck-up harlot with cheap parlor tricks.
What the fuck is the character creation in this game? You can choose from 10 different races, and in Elder Scrolls fashion, all of them have different abilities according to the specific racial trait. Next, what is this customization screen? This is really my only criticism of the game. And why? Why'd you choose sliders? Of all the things, like, it goes from one extreme to the next. What is this? What is it? I want to know. Tell me. I'm aware that Skyrim did sliders, but their sliders were more like a number system, because if you chose each part of the slider, it changed. Kind of like how you do the hairstyles in Oblivion and how you do the races in Oblivion. After that waking nightmare, the actual game actually begins. It really does show off, even in the tutorial area, with relatively decent graphics in my opinion. Get some items out of the body, get some lockpicks, and also, my favorite thing about this game, I love the lockpicking system. You have to orient the tumblers in the right spot without snapping the small piece of iron you're using. There's 21 pre-made classes which give bonuses to specific traits. Sometimes you even can customize your own, which I always choose Paddle Mage, just to be honest. It gives the best bonuses for spells. This is where the game, in my opinion, really begins to show its true colors. You walk through the sewers, and in your adventure at the top, you fight some goblins, some rats, getting used to the controls, figuring out how to do everything, and then you get to the sewer grate. And it really shows the difference between how boxed in you felt when you were in the dungeon. It honestly is one of my favorite moments in the entire game. The game opens up extensively after the tutorial area. You can immediately explore, as well as doing the main quest right away. But that's not the only way to progress. However, in my opinion, it is the best way to level up and learn how the game works extensively. One of the staples in my opinion, however, is the armor and the weapons. They help set the scene for your adventure. Your basic armors like leather, fur, chainmail, iron, and steel are always easily available. There are also rarer and more powerful armors that you get at higher levels, like mithril, elven, glass, dwarven, orcish, ebony, and daedric. 4 of those being heavy armor. Some armor sets are even custom or special, and hard to achieve, and these are always quest rewards, or usually are quest rewards. The weapons come in many varieties as well, from daggers and short swords to maces and bows. Oblivion itself also has a very unique spell system. There are scrolls which allow you to cast certain spells one time without the use of magicka, and I find it quite unappreciated that you can equip spells and have both hands taken by weapons or a shield. There's a special tool in the game that you can use to make your own spells as well. It can either be useless or very useful. You can make spells that take almost unlimited amounts of magicka to use, but are immensely powerful, and vice versa. They could be weak and also take next to no magicka to cast. There is a difficulty slider that I haven't mentioned until now, which is just because it's very archaic, as with most old games that don't have a set difficulty. It's not very responsive. It's either too easy or too hard. And the amount of enemies, I recommend playing on an easier difficulty rather than a harder one, considering you will get mobbed by 80,000 goblins at one time in a one cave. And it's not the most fun thing. The first time you would learn or even interact with Daedra in the Plane of Oblivion is during the Seeds of Kavach, which is in the first 30 minutes or so of the game. You'd only encounter scamps and the occasional Daedra once you get into the tower up there. Daedra are terrifying, which makes sense, I guess, since you're basically in hell. Your Maroon Dagons or Boethia's Plane of Oblivion. Considering Dagon is the Daedric god of destruction, it does make sense for everything to look evil. Similarly with Boethia's plane, as they happen to be the Daedric Prince of Deceit, Conspiracy, Treachery, and Sedition. Those of you who haven't played any of the Elder Scrolls games or are only familiar with Skyrim, Dagon is this big guy. He gave you the Maroon's Razor in Skyrim, and in Oblivion he happens to just be the big bad. It really does put into perspective how all of the Daedric princes basically are morally gray in any way, considering they don't really help you or shun you unless you are directly interfering with their plans. I do, however, consider all of them evil in some sense or form. I couldn't find a good depiction of Boethia, so we're just going to have to go with the Skyrim depiction. She gives you the Ebony Mail and requires you to murder a close follower or companion to get it. The Lesses of Daedra aren't easily defeated, and my least favorite enemy, but the coolest looking in my opinion, is the Clanfear. This one right here. Literal tanks these guys, I swear. It takes years to kill them. Progress through towers is sometimes a bit confusing and slow, but it does encourage exploring and making sense. Considering you are in a Daedric plane, they're supposed to be confusing, and they're supposed to be claustrophobic. Aelid Ruins are fucking amazing, guys. Have to say it. It's probably one of my favorite things in the game, and it's just a magnificent sight to see. I think a lot of the draw from me that comes in Aelid Ruins has definitely got to be the fact that they are built after a race that I have not been able to interact with very much in the Elder Scrolls series. There are a few of these ruins that are quest-only areas, which is kind of disappointing because those are the coolest ones to explore. I just find out that, it's a quest item, figure out the quest, go do the quest. It's not really difficult to get into them very often. There's a few of them that have trolls out front, which those ones are a little bit frustrating to get into. So I usually find a way around them or I sneak attack them. There's not really much issue there. The loot in these ruins are absolutely amazing. You can get hundreds upon hundreds of septums just from selling Varla and Welkin stones after getting them. Because every single Aelid ruin that you explore, usually you'll get up to around 8, in between 4 and 8 Welkin stones, and a couple Varla stones, which sell for quite a lot each time. So it's really convenient, and it's just another reason why they're so amazing to me. An issue that old games like this have, however, are a lot of them are very repetitive and have very similar scenery. Somehow these ruins semi-avoided that by doing interesting puzzles in almost every single one. Different traps, different areas, unlike the cave systems, which are absolutely horrible. You can find your way around in the cave systems easily because they all look exactly the same. That's honestly one of the reasons I'm waiting for Sky Oblivion to come out, so I can play in the caves that are redone, because they're going to make changes to the caves and make them spice them up a bit so they're not the exact same every time with different enemy placements. The only good cave that I've ever been in, I think, in my opinion, would be Sideways Cave, because that one was completely different. In some ways there was water, there was a bunch of different environmental things, and here's gameplay of basically every other cave you go in. It really shows that it's quite disappointing. I removed all the audio from the clip because I thought it would be funny and a lot more boring if it was silent, but that backfired. It just sounds like shit now. The Shivering Isles DLC, which is one of the biggest, most expansive DLCs that has ever come to an Elder Scrolls game. It adds almost an entire new continent with many more weapons and armor and spells to use to your advantage. They add ingredients, they add dialogue, they add unique items, different Daedric artifacts that you can attain, all within Sheogorath's realm of the Shivering Isles. Sheogorath is the Daedric Prince of Madness, as is very, very carefully done and revealed through his dialogue. He's an extremely crazy, eccentric man, and I just find it extremely, extremely immersive and a great way to let you dig more into the lore of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I'm currently sick right now, so the video took a bit longer than I wanted to come out because I already had all the script done. Just needed to do the voiceover, which is kind of difficult with some sort of sickness. I've had really bad sinus issues recently going on, and not a fever though. But thanks guys for watching the video, and if you enjoyed my content, be sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys next time I upload. Have a good day.